At Bianchi Honda, we want to exceed your expectations for customer service. From our gorgeous showroom and accommodating staff to our extraordinary selection of Honda vehicles and industry-leading service department. Your vehicle should be the best choice for you, and you can find it here at Bianchi Honda. I'm Jason Perico, and I promise to always make it worth a visit.
Welcome. Say it ain't so.
I know.
On Twitter, last one of the season.
I know. I saw your response. Yeah, that's messed up.
That is what happened. That happened
We'll
fast.
stretch it out longer next year.
No, it's not right though, because I remember. I mean, like the first game of the season, like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Went too quick.
Very quick.
Too quick.
Good and bad, I thought, throughout the year. Obviously, win-loss, you'd like more wins than losses. But that said, you haven't done much losing throughout your career.
Right.
So that's a good thing. What was the good and bad from? Let's just talk about Saturday for now with Mercy.
Yeah, I thought we played. I thought we played 30 of 40 minutes. Going into the fourth quarter, we were down 4. It was like a 45-41 game, somewhere along those lines. And then, for whatever reason, we couldn't hit shots. And Mercyhurst, which is a very good team, they put up everything they put up went in. And, and then you get into the foul and you try to do those things, and they were just deadly from the line, and we were fouling. There's not really a good person to foul, and when we went to foul her, they took her out of the game. So they kind of put in all the kids that made free throws. But, I was proud of the kids on that last game to go out. They come out of the gates playing really well, like we had been the last couple games. And we sustained it a little bit longer. And but the kids fought hard, and then it was just a matter of making shots, and every shot Mercyhurst put up, Natalie had a great game for them. Angela Hines had a great game for them. Steele came and just had one of her best games against us. And then Laportosa coming off the bench, she hit a ton of free throws at the end, and that was about it. But the ladies fought hard. I was proud of our ladies coming in. Our post players, couldn't get them going. Got them a lot of good shots. I mean, you get your low post player 12 shots, and then your other kids off the bench another total of 7 more. You'd hope you'd scored a little better clip, but we were a total of. I'm not a great at math, but. Of our back to the basket players, that's 4. They made 4 out of 19 shots. And, we drop stuff. Now, I take a couple shots out of Lenise. Lenise took a couple 15-footers. So if you say 10, now you're saying 17 shots that were 5 feet and in.
Yeah,
and the percentage, you got to hit it a better clip. And, just the lid was on our end in the second half, and we just couldn't do it with our post players. But you need both. You need to have a balanced attack, and we need a little bit more out of them. And, we didn't get it. But, Maggie had a really nice game. Chelsea had a really nice game. It was good enough to get her a freshman of the week. And, everybody that played for us scored, so that was nice to see. Lauren, I thought, come out and had a real nice game. She took a couple charges. She sacrificed. Haley came in, had her first start of the year at the last game of the year because Julia was sick and missed the first, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of practice. And she did a decent job. We fall into that turnover. Going into halftime, we played the best game possible. I think we had 8 assists, 6 turnovers. That was the best we had all year. And then in the second half, got away from it. We had 10. And we always have them at crucial times. You know what I mean? You never want to have a turnover, but when you're getting a stop and then you turn it over and they go down and score, and then you come down and miss and they go down and score, then you come down and turnover and they go down and score, you're just digging yourself a hole.
Right.
And, just really proud of the team overall. I know our record wasn't there, and our family, and what I say by that is our team, we're a family, and we had a talk a long time ago about what was important and what we wanted to get out of this year. And, our coaches will sit down this week and talk about it. But we wanted to see growth, we wanted to see improvement, and I think we saw that. I think, you check that off the list. We saw some growth with some players individually as a team, and I think we improved. Some games didn't show it, other games did, or quarters of certain games did. But I think from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, you could tell the difference. And with a young team, that's what you want. You want to steadily improve, and I think we did that. We didn't improve as quickly as I would have wanted, to make a run at getting into the conference tournament, and we fell short there. But, like I told the team at the end, this is the last year you guys get any type of spring break because we're not doing it next year.
Yeah, that didn't bode well. But you talked about the first half of your season compared to second half. I think those are two different teams almost. It's almost night and day. The performances you got, just how close you kept some of the games in the second half. That said, also, at one point there, it looked like if the stars aligned, you could have made that conference tournament.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
There are good things that happened this year. I mean, like Lanice Saturday, 2 for 12, you said, from field goal. And not to say anything, I mean, Lanice, a senior, she's moving on, and she put in her time. She did. She worked hard.
She did.
But that said, you said it. With your post players, I mean, she had 11 points. On the surface, a double-double, that's great. That's the only fitting way for her to go out. But still, 2 for 12.
2 for 12. And if you figure from the low post area, she was 2 for 10. Because she had a couple, I would say 12 to 15-foot shots that we ended up getting her the ball, and she took the shots and missed. But, we got her good looks. And that's one of the things, we can sit back and, as coaches, you know if you're getting looks that you want because you're running your type of offense, you're running your sets for. We got great looks. We just didn't finish. And so you know that we're moving in the right direction. If it was a situation where we just come down and we couldn't get a look and the shot clock is going off and we're jacking up, that's not happening. Where our kids are now, in the beginning of the year, there were cases where we that's the way it was.
Brick wall almost.
Yeah, and we couldn't get anything, defense wise. But the ladies got after it. They did a nice job. We got some really good looks at the basket, and that was just for everybody. Like I said, our post players. There was a lid on the basket when they got down on the block. I don't know what triggered it, but we just didn't have a ton of success. And then when we went with, Kelsey Herbert, and then we went, Nicole Akava got to play a little bit of the 5, and we struggled in and there overall. So it was just one of those games where our post players, we got them great looks. The ball just didn't want to go in for them. We had a couple layups from them and from our guards. It was just roll around and fall out. It's like, what'd you do?
Right.
You know what I mean? To make that happen. But just wasn't our day. But the kids competed, I felt, as hard as they could. And like I said, about 30 out of the 40 minutes, we looked really good. We had our opportunities, and then, the wheels fell off.
Well, Mercier still had a home game to play for as well in the PSAC tournament. So I think if that's the way I'd have to go back and look at the standings to know for sure. But a playoff game for all intents and purposes. Mercier's came to play. So,
yeah, absolutely.
That happens. The Merciers was victorious last night. Now they get to play IUP.
Yep.
Both of those games are interesting. As a coach of Gannon, are you happy to see Edinburgh and Mercyhurst still involved, or is it like a rivalry?
I
used to want the Browns to lose every single game.
Yeah.
My parents would be like, the Steelers don't have a shot. Let's root for the Browns. And no, I can't even do it for a Sunday. So,
I'm a basketball fan, and I just don't want any, my big thing is go out, have a great game, nobody get hurt, that type of stuff. We don't have a dog in the fight. Now, when it gets to the NCAA tournament, I want our conference. I know some coaches don't want that.
Right.
I want our conference to do well.
And you want it to be Gannon, actually.
Yeah, I want it to be Gannon, but if we can't do it, then I want our conference to represent. But, I'm just looking for good games. I thought the other ones the other night, the home teams came to play.
Right.
They weren't playing around. I think both of them were 30-point wins.
Yeah.
So these next two games, at Cal and at IUP, both very, very good teams. But you look at that. I don't know how IUP did with Mercyhurst, but I know they split with Edinburgh and Cal split. So it'll be an interesting game, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be out on the road recruiting, so I'll be checking in on my phone to see how the scores and updates go. But I wish those teams the best of luck, and those players have a safe and healthy game, and finish the season the way they want to do it.
It's only fair to mention this Gannon team. I mean, you played, I'm looking at this IUP game January 28th, not to drudge up bad memories, but 62-57.
Yeah, we're right there.
That's a team that's the class of the PSAC right now.
Yeah, we're right there. We're right there. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. That was one of the games coming out, that it was like a 25-point difference. Down there, we played them right after Christmas, right before New Year's, and it was a 30-point game.
Right.
And, we came out ready to play. You saw a glimpse of what potentially you could see, and again, you look at, I have the stats here in front of me, and these are things that I'll take with me when I go on the road and when I'm waiting for games to start and different things I'll look at. The name of the game this year is we didn't take care of the ball. We didn't value the ball, and you can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win ball games. You just can't do it. It's not possible. Now, I know if you go back and play tape of the first couple games, we're in games and we're turning the ball over 26, 27, 28 times, which is ridiculous.
It's remarkable.
It is. And and to say that we were in games, it just shouldn't happen. I would bring up references of teams, hey, all the teams I had, whether back down in Anderson or here, when we had our good teams, if teams turned the ball over like that, we capitalized. It wasn't a game. It wasn't a 10-point game. It was a 30-point game. We were up, we were winning. We just capitalized. So, it's one of those things. We got to value the ball, and that's one of the things that, going in the postseason, and hopefully it'll carry over to the summer, is our kids got to understand that if you want to be in games and you want to have a chance to win, you got to take care of the rock. As Dickie V would say, you got to take care of the rock, baby.
He's Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. You did have a thumb right on the pulse of your team throughout the year. I can say that as an outsider. If we went back and rolled some old tape of these shows, you came in, I want to say day one, and told me turnovers, that's going to be the big number to watch. The passing wasn't quite there. We saw that improve throughout the year.
Yeah.
This, to me, came down to a young team and a team where do you have a numbers issue?
Not in a sense. We had some injuries. I like I said, I have the stats here. We played conference-wise, we played 8 kids solid at 11 minutes a game.
Right.
8. Now, if Marissa Sibka doesn't go down, that's 9. That's 9 kids. We were 9 deep. Earlier in the year, if we would have got our one other guard back, we could have been 10. But it's very rare to see teams go that deep. It's very rare. I like to be deep, so in practice it's competitive, and that's where we fell off. We had too many injuries. It was tough to get kids, practice-wise, but every team goes through that. I remember being at my first squad, 9 players. I mean, a coach or myself had to jump in, to scrimmage or do different things. So, so that's not an excuse. It's just we got to be better. And we had some kids injured throughout the entire year, and then towards late, once those kids got injured, we had a couple other kids go down where we were limiting them in practice. But all that being said, it still doesn't give an excuse for turning the ball over. We just got to value. We have some kids, and hopefully they learn their lesson. But we have some kids that just didn't value the ball. They were making passes that they weren't going to get there. I would love to be inside their head to figure out what they thought, but the pass wasn't going to get there, and that's just being young. That's just trying to make that spectacular. We talk about, don't make the spectacular, make the simple, make the basic pass. And I know nowadays with ESPN, everybody wants this fancy stuff, but if you look at the teams that win and win consistently, they're not making those passes. They're making the simple pass, the effective pass, the efficient pass. And that's why they win games.
The other thing I want to point out, we got the chance to talk with Amanda Paris throughout the year. You mentioned Coach Jen just about every game.
Yeah.
Of course, Kelsey Duggar as well. But it seems it's worth mentioning that not only do you have some young players, you have young coaches. And I think throughout the year, I don't know how much of it had to do with Amanda Paris, but I found out around that time she was in for the interview, she works with the guards every single day. The passing came along.
Yeah.
Those coaches will also get better.
Absolutely. I got a great staff. I'm very blessed to have Coach Jen and Coach Paris with me, and Coach Duggar moved over from player to a coach this year. Very blessed. These guys have put in so much work. It's unbelievable. And stuff you just don't see. It's a lot of the stuff you don't see. It's behind the scenes. I mean, from day one, from the time they come on campus, they were chomping at the bit, recruiting, And that's stuff that, hadn't seen in a while. So really happy with those guys. And, I was telling the team this the other day. We had, if you look at, I talk our family, we had 17. There were 11 out of that 17 that were new.
Wow.
To the program. Brand new. So we had a lot of obstacles to overcome with that, having that many people. But we're not using that as an excuse. And I'll never do that because I know our coaches wouldn't do that. But they had to learn a system. They had to learn a new conference. Now, Coach Paris didn't have to learn me. She's known me for a long time. Coach Jen, he's adapted really well. And these guys got better each and every practice, each and every week. And they're chomping at the bit for postseason. And we're just hitting the recruiting trail and looking out for all those future Lady Knights that are out there. And that's the fun part, getting to go through it with a staff that truly cares about everything, the whole program, not just game day, not just this, the complete package. They both care, all three of them. But the full-time coaches, Coach Jen, Coach Paris, they're in there. They're caring about camps. They're caring about recruiting. They're caring about, the class of 2018, 2019. I mean, you want that. You want that. And I walk in there every day, man. I wake up blessed every day just knowing that I get to work with two people that have the same passion, share the same passion that I do. And that's what you want to do. You want to find as many of those people and surround yourself with them. That's how you become successful.
He's Jim Brunelli. Coach, I know we can't talk much about recruiting until at least April.
After the signing period.
So, roster turnover is a thing that happens in the NCAA and college basketball. We know that that's a possibility. Just given what you know at this point, looking towards next season, how do you feel about the squad and what you'll be able to get done?
I'm super excited about it. I mean, we have a lot of kids coming back who have a lot of experience. Our big thing is keeping them healthy. Keeping them healthy. We have some kids who were banged up at the end of the year that we got to get some MRIs on and figure out, our course of action of what we're going to handle there. But, Marissa Sibka is going to be back stronger. Her surgery went well. She's going to start rehab. She's doing all that stuff. And then it's just keeping these kids healthy and working them out. And we'll start postseason in another week. They get this week off. They get 2 weeks mandatory. So we'll start. And we don't go crazy. We do a lot of rehab stuff first just because it's a long season. They've been going for a long time. But then we're going to hit it. We got to be better. We got to be more conditioned. We got to be better conditioned. We got to be able to go longer, faster, stronger. And then it's about adding the pieces to the puzzle. We already have, a commitment already. She'll sign in April. And we're super excited about it. I'm going down to see her on Thursday. It's funny, all this code stuff, you can't talk about it, but you got to abide by all those NCAA rules, and I do that. So I'm looking forward to announcing the class that we're going to have coming up. And then we're looking at, some junior college kids to come in to bring some experience, because we graduate one senior. We have one senior next year. That's it.
Right.
So bringing some kids in who have some experience, whether it's at the junior college level, whether it's a D1 transfer, those are the type of kids we're looking for. Plus we'll sprinkle in a high school kid here and there. But I feel really strong about our kids, especially if we're healthy. If we're healthy, I think we can be a really good team next year.
Good stuff. Jim Brunelli, the team, it's starting to really mold around you as a coach, I think. Again, as an outsider, just looking in, I like the way this year went. Again, you want more wins, but that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
You said it. Transfers come in. That's how you win in today's Division II, it seems.
Yeah, you try. I learned this a long time ago. One of my mentors who gave me my first opportunity in coaching was Guy Parsons, who was a longtime coach at Clarion University, and she did an amazing job down there. And one of the things that, hearing her talk and the assistant coaches back in the day was, if you can get a couple D1 kids to drop down, and I know back in the days in the mid 90s when Clarion was a fire, they were just a powerhouse, back-to-back Elite Eights.
I'm trying to think. There's a name from Galt? Coach Galt?
Well, that was UPJ. UPJ, okay. Coach Galt, they had battles.
Why is she's connected with Oil City, my hometown, somehow? But I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Fair. Sorry.
But they had some Division I drop downs, and they were powerhouses, and those teams were amazing. They had some great local products. One that came out here, Amy Kuhn, she was a McDowell grad, could just flat out shoot the ball. Shannon Coakley was a great one. Then some kids out of Pittsburgh, Mona Gaffney and Carlita Jones, who were just studs. And, those were the days. And I was a student back then, and just got to see some of those teams play. And I was like, wow, those type players you want to get. And, whether you're lucky enough to get them, but I've never been the one to go and get a ton of transfers. I like developing kids. I like getting kids for 4 years. I think if you look at the teams that I've had that have been successful, we've had 4-year kids come in, develop into great basketball players, and then to great teams. So that's what we'll do too. But in order to even some classes out, we got to sprinkle in a couple kids here and there, and that's what we'll try to do.
Are they all Brunelli recruits now? After Lanise?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So now it starts.
It's funny. I like that. It's funny you mentioned that, but
I shouldn't discount the 2 great years you had.
No. But here's the deal. It's one of those things where you hear coaches get hired, and there'll be a lot of openings in these next couple months, and there'll be some big time D1 jobs that get open, and you'll hear these coaches come in and they'll talk about. And I was never that way, and I never wanted to be that way, where you say, wait till I get my players here.
That's my line.
Who wants to wait that long? I want to win right now. So I'm going to do whatever it takes with the group I have. And that's what you got to do. But it's always funny when you hear coaches say, well, wait till I get my kids in. Well, I don't want to wait 2-3 years. I want to win right now.
Actually, you know what? I don't know about you. You know way more coaches than I do. Is that ever a coach that says stuff like that?
Well, you hear that sometimes. I think it's less and less now because, with the transfer rate and kids transfer and all this other stuff, a lot of times it's administrators, give them time. It's radio personalities. Well, wait till they get their crew in, or wait till these guys leave, different things like that. But back in the day when I was getting into coaching, you heard that was big. Hey, wait till he gets his recruits in there. Wait till she gets her recruits in there and go from there. And, I don't think schools are giving coaches that amount of time. I just don't think. You look in the landscape now, just throwing out NC State. They let Mark Godfrey go, even though he's been there 5 years and 4 out of the 5 he's been at the NCAA tournament. Prior to that, they hadn't done anything, but they let him go. Do you know what I mean? So it's different nowadays. You used to get fired for doing different things. Now it's you have one bad season, and everybody wants your head. You know what I mean? So it's what have you done for me lately?
That's true.
So that's what we're feeling now. But here's my thing. Like I said, before, I think you got to buy stock right now in Gannon women's basketball. Look for it. It's trading it. #GUWBB. So get on it. Buy on it now, and because I think you're going to be happy with what it's going to turn out to be.
Good stuff. Well, I'm unhappy that we're wrapping up our final Gannon Lady Knights coaching show of the year.
I know. It's crazy.
Maybe. Sometimes we do this with football. I didn't this year, but maybe we'll have to have a recruit show.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, I'm down with that.
And I'll get the old, I got to find our engineer, Scott, and get my Nerf basketball hoop.
Yeah, we'll take some shots, answer some phone calls.
I'll get practiced up. I haven't shot a basketball in like 8 years.
That's all right.
But I remember beef.
That's it.
Balance. I don't remember the rest.
Yep,
we'll
elbow, eyes, follow through. You got it. That's it.
All right, Coach Jim Brunelli. It's been a fun year. Look forward to talking to you again soon. I know you'll be busy. Yep. If you hear me say you're in Timbuktu, that's just what I say when coaches are recruiting.
Yeah, because you never know where we're at. Yeah, you never know where we're at. But hey, buddy, I appreciate the support all year and coming here and doing shows and supporting our ladies on air and off the air. I can't thank you enough for it, so really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And if you have a bunch of extra time on your hands, I'm looking for a co-host. So.
Yeah, there you go. I'll come in and spot you every now and then.
All right, folks. That's the last installment of this season of the Gannon Lady Knights Coach Show. He's Jim Brunelli. Thanks so much.